Heart Talk podcast, the show where we talk about the most important conversation that concerns love, relationship, commitment, and everything in between. I am your host, Lami.
And I am your co-host, Hawa Gulu. And on today's episode, we will be discussing or asking a big question. When you hear marriage, what scares you the most?
Yes, and to help us unpack this, we have two special guests with us here in the studio, talking about Fatima and Salim. You're both welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to that. So, Fatima, Salim, you are a couple and you're here to talk about marriage. I'd like to ask you both directly. When you think about marriage, what scares you the most? Let's start with you, Fatima.
Well, that's actually a big question. I would say for me, what scares me most about marriage is the fear of losing myself. You know, I've always been this independent person. The idea of marriage sometimes feels like, I don't know, like I have to sacrifice a part of who I am to make the relationship work. And there's this constant societal narrative about how women are expected to shape themselves into these perfect wives. That's not cool at all.
I understand the pressure on fulfilling the expectations at times in marriage is overwhelming. And apart from that, like how have this whole fears of yours affected the approach of your relationship with Salim?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been cautious. I communicate with Salim multiple times about me needing space to be my own person, to continue my passion and pursue outside the relationship. But still, there's this underlying fear of losing my individuality.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, you heard what Fatima said. What are your thoughts on that, and how does that fear affect your relationship?
Yeah, I have to understand completely where Fatima is coming from. For me, I believe we're not, we should not lose ourselves, actually. So for me, what I fear most in marriage is the fear of failure. No, even in the community relationship, I've heard stories of marriage failing, even when the both couples love themselves. So sometimes I think about it, okay, what if even after putting in much effort, we still fail? And sometimes that fear is depressing.
Right about now, we are going on a short break to hear people's opinion on their fear on marriages. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
When you think of marriage, what scares you? I think compatibility. Sometimes you may think you love the person, but when you start living with the person, you realize that you guys are not compatible, and you start having small issues and that could lead to divorce or family.
Welcome back from that short break. Hawa, I must commend you for that vox pop. How was it?
It was really interesting because hearing people's opinion and fears actually about marriage was really intriguing. You hear people telling you, like what Fatima said when she said scared of losing herself. There was somebody that said that too on the street when you guys were watching, because you know there's this fear of relationship breakdown and divorce in relationship now, and a lot of people can actually relate to it. And apart from that, I would want to ask you how, like this fear of yours, has it affected your relationship with Fatima, or is it a barrier that is stopping you from actually going further with the marriage of a thing? So we all want to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. The fear sometimes interfere with the relationship. But what Fatima's openness is what helps me to keep going in the relationship. You know, we always have conversation on how we want this relationship to work, how we want it to go. So the fact that she's open with me keeps me going.
You have the fear of losing yourself, while he has the fear of failure. So how would you actually sort this whole thing out? Is it something you guys will hold on to, these fears, or you're actually going to work it out together? So we want to know.
For me, communication is very, very important. We have to be honest with each other about our fears and insecurities. I think that's the only way we can navigate this together. Salim's really good at reminding me that he loves me for who I am and doesn't expect me to change.
I like us, Fatima, her reassurance helps me manage my own fears. So, and marriage is not something you win at because it's not just competition, it's a journey. So, I believe with love and understanding we'll get to it.
And yeah, we all know that marriage, it doesn't seem easy as it seems. There are fears that you just have to overcome. But I think with communications and actually getting to talk about the important things, it will make it work. It will.
Hawa just said, like, honestly, I love your perspectives on this issue. Honestly, I want to say a very big thank you to both you and Salim. Thank you for being so open and vulnerable with us today, and every other person listening. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you back one of the
Yes,
time.
on the show.
Who knows?
Definitely.
Thank you for having us. It was exciting to be here.
Yeah, and please, for our viewers, I want you to know that marriage is actually not a do or die affair, but you just have to make it work. You just, despite, the journey might be rough at times, but you just have to make it work.
Yes. Make it work. That's the key point.
Yes.
Make it work. Whether you're watching, whether you're listening, whatever it is, always remember that when it comes to relationship, every relationship has its own peculiar challenges, and it's okay for you to be scared. It's okay to be scared.
Definitely.
But what is important is how you work towards it,
Yes.
resolving it or addressing it with understanding, with love and commitment.
Sure.
And that's all we have for you today. Until next time, don't forget to keep the conversation going. We'd love to hear from you. What are you scared of? Why are you scared of marriage? We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms.
Definitely, you subscribe. Our social media platform on YouTube, Hard Talk Podcast, on TikTok, Hard Talk Podcast.
Yes, and also on Facebook, Hard Talk Podcast as usual. And Instagram at Hard Talk Podcast 24. We are also on X, talking about Twitter, Hard_Podcast 24. We got my co-host talking about Hawa Kulu. I am Lami saying enjoy the rest of your day. This has been the Hard Talk Podcast. Until you come, we'll get you next time with another interesting topic.